Greetings, folks. This is Volt. It's time for another Arkham Horror Campaign Play-Along through the Mythos Busters Discord. And the campaign selected this time around is The Dream Eaters, a classic 2-campaign, 4 scenarios per campaign, dual extravaganza, but this time around with, as ever, the Mythos Busters Discord campaign play-along flair. For those who haven't seen one of these before or unfamiliar, the campaign play-alongs are a community challenge run of sorts through a particular campaign chosen by vote amongst the Mythos Busters Discord population, with a limited card pool, the base of which is the revised core set, the 5 investigator starter decks, and the card pool for the particular campaign, the player card pool, for the particular campaign chosen. But we like to spice those up. The organizers of the campaign play-along have been including some additional contracts and tasks and other really cool things to let you expand your card pool in exchange for some spicy detriments, and also to include some new ways of revisiting familiar content. And for this one, I'm particularly excited to attempt the Dreams Within Dreams Advanced Route. What is this? This, as indicated here with some really stellar art, a route intended for players that want to experience a version of the Dream Eaters where you complete the entire campaign with a single group of investigators. Not recommended for a blind playthrough. So, apparently, we'll be playing through the entirety, maybe all 8 scenarios, we'll see how this happens, with the same group of investigators, or, in my case, a solo investigator. This comes with the ultimatum of vast experiences. Every investigator earns 2 fewer experience from each scenario. This is clearly designed to make it so that we don't outpace the difficulty of the scenarios by having literally 2 campaigns worth of experience. The Dream Eaters, while having only 4 scenarios per campaign, have quite a bit of experience compressed into those scenarios. So I'm not too concerned about, having Dunwich type levels of points put into my deck. But it does mean we're going to need to work for it. So we have all that we know about the route is showing here right now. We begin with scenario 1B, Waking Nightmare. So it is essentially, as was described in the Discord by one of the organizers, a Web of Dreams campaign that goes off the rails. So right now, all we're going to do, we're going to play Waking Nightmare, the first scenario of the Web of Dreams side, and then we're going to add that the Black Cat warned the others in our campaign log. We'll be coming back to this, but for now, let's take a look at who I'm trying to play. And the answer is Amanda Sharpe. There's a Japanese proverb that a student facing their examinations is like a carp trying to leap over the dragon's gate. And because I can't resist a good pun, and I can't resist a bad pun either, I've decided that this is another student facing examinations of a different sort. So A. Sharpe is sleeping over the Dreamer's Gate. Haha, very funny. So, before I get into the deck proper, let's talk about the contracts, the campaign play-along contracts, which are, again, integrated into Arkham.build, which is fantastic. Let's take a look at these, including some other really cool art. First off, we have Isolated. We've had this for each of the other campaign play-alongs so far. This is adding 1 extra card to your card pool because you are braving this with a single investigator. I have selected Enraptured. I note also that when adding a single card name to the card pool, you do get both versions of it. So both Enraptured level 0 from Forgotten Age and Enraptured level 2, the new hotness from the latest expansion. Why am I blanking? I want to say the Drowned City, right? I haven't played it yet. That's a problem for future me. But both of those are added to the card pool. So what else? We've got the 9 of Cups, awesome art. This is our reward for having completed the Circle Undone campaign play-along last time around. So I get to add a card from the Circle Undone expansion. I have selected Scroll of Secrets, and I'm going to talk more about why I've picked that card when I talk about deck building and future plans for this deck. But it wouldn't be the campaign play-along if we didn't have some other way to enhance our deck building in exchange for a low price. So here I'm taking Sleeping to Dream. This is a contract that you take when assembling decks if you're playing the Web of Dreams, which technically we are. This is how this starts out. And when you accept this contract, you choose one card per player, which are added to the card pool for the duration of the campaign. I have selected the Amanda Sharpe staple, Unrelenting, from the Innsmouth Conspiracy. But when you take it, now I have to choose someone to bear the False Awakening weakness. I'll show that in a moment. This is a weakness that in both Web of Dreams and the Dream Eaters, you can receive depending on how the scenarios have gone. And it needs to stay with me for the remainder of the campaign. And if I end up having to add a second one, I take a physical trauma instead. What is False Awakening? Begins each game next to the agenda deck with a doom on it. Spend an action and test any skill, difficulty 2, +1 per player. So for solo play, it's difficulty 3. If I succeed, I remove it from the game. So essentially, this is an extra doom that comes into play that in order for me to not lose a round on the timer, I need to spend an action and pass a difficulty 3 test. Seems eminently doable. We're going to see if that works to my detriment. Finally, I've taken one other contract, which is specific to Waking Nightmare, which is Ultimate Infestation. So this is an interesting benefit for the whole campaign in exchange for making the first scenario that much harder. What's the benefit? Reaction ability. When you would place a Swarm card, which are all over the place in both campaigns, I get to look at the top card of my deck. Then I can either choose to add it to the Swarm as normal, or I can instead add to the Swarm the next card in my deck. Limit once per round. So essentially, I can look and see what's going to be attached to the Swarm card, and if I don't want that to be attached, I can attach the next card in my deck instead. And for Amanda Sharpe in particular, I think, hope that this will be particularly useful because of the timing of Amanda's draw, that at the start of the investigation phase, she draws a card, then discards the card beneath her, and then chooses a card to put beneath her for the upcoming round. This way, if I draw a swarming enemy in the Mythos, I'll have an advanced look and be able to look at the card that I see and say, this is exactly what I need for the next round, let's put it back. Or, this is not really helpful for me next round, I'll allow this to add to the Swarm and take my chances with what comes up next. And this will remain with me for the entire campaign. Hopefully that'll be helpful. But in order to take this, I have to assemble the infestation bag with 2 skulls, 3 tablets, 2 cultists. When we get to the infestation bag part of the Waking Nightmare, I'll note how this is going to make things significantly more challenging. That's the contracts I have chosen to take. That is not all of the contracts and is not all of the cool things that are on display for this campaign play-along. I urge anyone interested to look into checking out the Mythos Busters Discord, taking a look. If you're interested to play, you can always join in after the fact. We have just started, beginning last week, on a pace of playing 1 scenario a week, but you can catch up even if you're playing beginning weeks later. That's fine, perfectly fine. What about my deck? Well, what we're looking at here is the level 0 version, and I mean, every level 0 investigator deck is going to be at its weakest at level 0. That's not a shocker. But this deck in particular, this is probably going to be one of the most challenging scenarios of the campaign. because some very key Amanda things that I want are level 1 and above. So I'm actually going to scroll down to those first. My thinking here, we're doing some classic big hand Amanda with laboratory assistance, with dream enhancing serum, which is a Dream Eater's card. We're going to be trying to assemble the segments of onyx to make the pendant of the queen. Now with taboo, the pendant of the queen, as a reminder, oh, it's not here yet. Here we go. So the pendant of the queen, which is well known and regarded from the Dream Eaters set as a particularly powerful secret card. Once assembled, since it allows you to actionlessly and testlessly, for the low price of 1 charge, teleport across the map, discover a clue remotely, or automatically evade an enemy, even a non-elite enemy. Now, the mutation from the taboo list is that if this runs out of charges, it gets removed from the game. So that's why I've added Enraptured to the card pool, to try to keep this topped off with charges. Enraptured 2 in particular, which adds 3 charges and or secrets when successfully completing an investigation test with it committed. And if this is under Amanda, that could potentially be, without extra actions, 3 investigates, 9 extra charges and secrets in 1 round. That's also, though, why I'm taking Scroll of Secrets. In particular, I'm looking towards the level 3 Seeker Scroll of Secrets, which runs on secrets, which Enraptured will recharge. And this lets me look at the bottom 3 cards of any deck. I can choose to discard 1 card, I can choose to add 1 to my hand, and I can put the rest on the top or bottom of the deck. Here, I am thinking ahead to the very end of the campaign. The last scenario is going to be Where the Gods Dwell. I don't have access to neat tricks like On the Hunt or Where's the Party. And that might not reach elites, but I don't have access to yank elite enemies out of the deck, which, for those who have experienced Where the Gods Dwell, know why that is important. But what I'm thinking is, if I can get this level 3 Scroll of Secrets into play, and if I can keep it topped off with secrets, I can use this ability to look at the bottom of the encounter deck and stack the deck to keep as much control as I can over what encounter cards I am drawing. A very powerful effect in solo when you can manage it, especially actionlessly, which is what Scroll of Secrets does with its taboo. I just need to keep it topped off, and that's what Enraptured is for. So those are the key items that I'm working towards. I am taking the Dream Diary, another classic Dream Eaters card, excellent for Amanda. If I can get this upgraded into the Dreams of a Child version, which makes the normally an Unexpected Courage Essence of the Dream become a 4 question marks card, so long as I have 8 or more cards in hand, that will be very good. I thought about going the tried and true classic Red Glove Man Amanda deck, but I want to try to make this Enraptured into Scroll of Secrets and Pendant of the Queen idea work. I absolutely also want to take Unrelenting, so that's my 3 extra out of card pool cards. No room for the Red Glove Man. I could have taken another Contract to expand my access in exchange for another random basic weakness. Since I'm going to be cycling the deck a lot, I really don't want to be drawing that many weaknesses. So instead, I'm thinking, you know what? This is the Dream Eaters. We're going to be doing the whole campaign. I've never actually played with the Black Cat. But if we're doing the whole campaign, then the Black Cat's effect on Tablet and Elder Thing tokens will be, I am hoping, useful the whole way through. And the Elder Sign heal the Black Cat completely, and a whopping +5. I mean, Amanda's Elder Sign, it's a number gets bigger. Her Elder Sign is simply a 0, but you can double the icons on the card beneath her. Not a very exciting Elder Sign. but being able to heal up the Black Cat and using that as a key piece of soak, that might be particularly helpful. We'll see. This is not an immediate upgrade. The immediate upgrades I have in mind are the Unrelentings, get the Segments of Onyx, get the Scroll of Secrets level 3, at least one of them online, and upgrade the Enraptureds. And then we'll move on to the Dream Diaries, other key practiced skills. I am running Practice Makes Perfect, which has what? Perception, Deduction, Enraptured, Overpower, Vicious Blow. I only have 10 cards right now in the level 0 deck that this can hit. This will become much more useful after I've added some question mark practice skills, which of course will be level 2 Enraptured, Momentum, another classic, Unrelenting, and upgraded Overpower, upgraded Perception, and maybe towards the end, if I have the victory to spare, slamming in the Eye of Truth. We'll see. I'm planning to take Miskatonic Archaeology funding so that I can get 2 laboratory assistants plus another ally, i.e. the Black Cat, ultimately into play. I'm thinking Relic Hunter so that I can combine the Pendant of the Queen with the Silver Key story asset. If I can get that partway through the campaign, if all goes well, I may be able to have that by the end of the second scenario, which would be good. And I do like the Silver Key in that it can cancel horror and therefore take the sting out of repeatedly cycling Amanda's deck and the 1 horror you take when you draw from an empty deck. Finally, of course, we need some ways to deal damage. I've got Vicious Blow, another Amanda classic, which is practiced. Unfortunately, I don't have room in the card pool to get Vicious Blow level 2 in here, which would be great. I've got 2 Occult Invocations at level 0. I'm also taking 1 Disc of Itzanma. I don't know that I'm going to keep this past the first scenario. This is essentially a silver bullet to give me a fighting chance if late in the scenario I draw one of those big victory point spiders, the Grey Weavers. But I am definitely planning to get 2 level 2 I've Got a Plans from the Harvey Walters deck, which doesn't have level 0 I've Got a Plan. I was surprised. So that we have a few sources of damage. And finally, some other classic Amanda cards. Cryptic Research, draw a bunch of cards fast. Cryptic Writings, draw them during your turn, get extra resources. What else? And I think that's pretty much it. The only reason these encyclopedias are here is because they're a single question mark. Being able to have some extra question marks to stick under Amanda. Again, I'm thinking about this first scenario. These are going to be a couple of the first cards being cut. Essentially, they're going to turn into the Segments of Onyx. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So, that's the deck. Tempering expectations. This first scenario, Waking Nightmare. I don't know, Chief, if I'm going to actually succeed at this one. My goal is to get as much victory as I can and still get a resigned successfully resolution. Am I going to be able to clear out all the infestation of 0 steps to the bridge? Honestly, fairly unlikely. If I can get out with most of the location victory, maybe not all, we'll see, but at least most of it, I'd love to end the scenario with like 6 or 7 victory. 6 to 8, I would say. I think there's a total of 10 victory up for grabs, but 2 of them are on VP enemies. Let me think that through. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, there's 8 VP on locations. There's 2 on enemies. So if I can get 6, maybe 7, that would be great. I'll earn 2 less. So I'd go into the next scenario actually having 4 or 5. 5 would be a nice sweet spot. I would be able to get both Unrelentings and maybe get the Scroll of Secrets level 3, or pick whatever other, maybe the Dream Diary. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, and if we end up with like 2 steps of the bridge happening after all that, I'll take it. All right. I'm going to pause briefly here to check that everything else is in order. We'll be right back to actually start scenario 1, Waking Nightmare. There is something that I almost forgot, and that's drawing my random basic weakness. I have here all the random basic weaknesses from Revised Core and from the Investigator starter decks. Campaign play-alongs use the random basic weaknesses from that card pool, plus the campaign that you're playing. The issue is that for the Dream Eaters, all 4 of the random basic weaknesses are multiplayer only. Narcolepsy, Your Worst Nightmare, Self-Centered. One more, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Now I need to check, or I'll never be satisfied. Where is it? Kleptomania, that's right. No one to steal from, so no, that's not it. All right, so, but we got to pick our random basic weakness, and by pick, I mean randomly draw, shuffle. What do we get? Hypochondria. Double action discard. Revelation, enter your threat area. Forced after you take 1 or more damage, take 1 direct horror. Fine. It could have been much, much worse. And finally, as a refresher, Amanda Sharpe. Stat line of 2 across the board. 7 health, 7 sanity. At the start of each investigation phase, I draw a card, discard the card beneath her, put another card beneath her, and then the card beneath her is committed to every skill test, if able, at the start of every skill test I perform. So, let's take a look at our opening hand. Okay, Dream Enhancing Serum is one of the assets that I'll want to get in play early. Perception is a way to help me test off False Awakening. So deduction is interesting to see in my opening hand, because a key question at the beginning of Waking Nightmare is, do I try to go to the records office? I think that's what it's called. This location here. Yep. Because that has 2 clues and is worth, I think, 2 victory. But speed is at a premium. A deduction right off the bat, I might be able to accomplish that. Okay. Intriguing. All right. So I think I am going to keep the Dream Enhancing Serum, the Perception, and the Deduction. I prefer to get Practice Makes Perfect later when there's fewer cards in my deck, and Cryptic Writings I, of course, want to draw during my turn to be able to play it without spending an action. So we'll put those 2 back. Disc of Itzama and Occult Invocation. Okay, I've got a few enemy management things, although I'll need the money to pay for them. Okay. All right, it's a possibility. Interesting. We have the False Awakening weakness. So to get rid of this Doom, I need to spend an action and pass a difficulty 3 test, any skill. It's at its most awkward here in Waking Nightmare because the first agenda is a Doom track of 2. So if I don't test that off this first round, I'm losing the whole second round. But as it is, Doom track of 2, nothing special on the agenda here. That will change soon. Act 1, I need 4 clues to advance. That's not happening before the agenda advances. We begin in the waiting room. 3 shroud, 1 clue. When it's not infested, it gains action resign. You flee the hospital, leaving your companions behind. Also, I have made the choice in the prologue to bring Dr. Shivani Maheswaran along. Ally Medic does not take up an ally slot. 1 health, 3 sanity. I can exhaust her to automatically evade and engage Suspicious Orderly. And I can remove her from the game when I reveal a Skull or Cultist symbol on an infestation token to cancel it. And this does have ramifications depending on your resolution. For the Dreamers, I'm not the Dreamers. We'll see if that has ramifications for me later on down the line, but I need every advantage I can get in this first scenario. As I mentioned, my deck is at its weakest, and even just having the additional soak and being able to just turn off the suspicious orderlies if I draw any. You'll see how problematic they would be otherwise if one shows up. I think it's worth it. Okay. The investigation phase begins. We do our Amanda Sharpe thing of drawing a card and then putting one under us. It is manual dexterity. And we're going to 4, 5. I'm thinking about the records office test. Yeah, we're going to put the the perception underneath. Okay. Let's see if we can't accomplish this. So, first action, we're going to move, and we'll move up to the records office. 3 Shroud, 2 Clues, Victory 2. Can spend 3 actions, if not engaged with any enemies, to take 4 basic investigate actions. Great for multiplayer. We're not doing that here. We're going to try to nail the test to get those clues. And I'm doing that test before the False Awakening, because if I pass, I'll draw a card from Perception, and maybe the card I draw will help me further with the False Awakening test. Most of the bag, the other things are 0 right now. Skulls are -1. Committing deduction, I'll be 2 up on the test. That covers over 3/4 of the bag. Those are the odds we're going with. We're going to investigate, commit deduction. Testing 5 on 3. -1 is a good start. We get both clues. And we draw a card. The Vicious Blow. Okay. Does not help with the False Awakening test. So let's try to pass the False Awakening test. I wonder if I throw Occult Invocation into it. No, I think we just go for it. 4 on 3. That's Arkham Horror, the card game, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. Well, I guess we're losing around, gang. What am I doing? Well, let's see how it goes. Fine. No enemies on the board. We upkeep into second deduction. Fine. Mythos. We are at 2 doom. Reset. This goes away. I guess this just stays next to the agenda deck. I might as well just remove it. It's not going to have any other effect. But we advance. Unsettling developments. We have to shuffle the spiders and the outbreak cards into the encounter deck, and then draw the infestation begins. So, spiders, outbreak, and the infestation begins. Put a damage token on the location with the most clues. 2 if there's 3 or 4 players in the game. So that is the waiting room, since there is a clue there. Now we create the infestation bag. Normally, that's 1 skull, 4 tablets, 2 cultists. Because of that ultimate infestation card, we instead have here, one of the tablets is a skull instead. And now, whenever we take an infestation test, the result is defined here. Tablet, you set it aside, does nothing. Skull, you set it aside, and you have to spawn a spider enemy at the infested location nearest to any investigator. Cultist, set it aside, another location becomes infested. And if both cultist tokens are set aside, then all the tokens go back into the bag. There's some key variants here, depending on how many tablet tokens I get that do nothing before the cultists reset the whole bag. I'm putting this card over here so that I remember to do it, because going forward, we will make an infestation test at the end of every Mythos phase. All right, well, we've lost 2 rounds, but let's see if we can't survive regardless. So, we shuffled this. What's our first Mythos card? It's spiders. Great. So, swarm of spiders. Fight 1, health 1, evade X, swarming 2. X is the number of spider enemies at its location, including swarm cards. So I have to put 2 cards under this from my deck. 1, 2. But I'm going to use the infestation contract to look at this second one. It's whispers from the deep. It's my weakness. So I'll happily let that be attached to this guy. And now I'll know when I defeat them. When you defeat an enemy, when you defeat a swarm card, it goes to the bottom of your deck. In a perfect world, I'll find Scroll of Secrets, and then I'll be able to, after I put Whispers of the Deep on the bottom of my deck, discard it off the bottom using Scroll of Secrets. But we're clearly not in a perfect world because we already lost a whole round to Doom. Now we do an infestation test. What do we get? Tablet. Nothing happens. Good. All right. Technically, actually, hold on. Let me move these over. Technically, this perception that was under Amanda should have still been under her. I don't discard it until now. Started the investigation phase, draw a card, now discard it, and enraptured. Well, I don't have a thing with secrets yet. I mean, we're going to be occultishly invoking these spiders, I think. So... well, actually, no. You know what we could do? I could do manual dexterity, evade them, and leave. They have my weakness. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see if we can accomplish that. Now, with 3 of them, it is evade 3, so it's not nothing. And now that we have an infested location, the elder things are -1. But that's still a lot of the bag. I don't have any other agility or wild commits. I could have vicious blowed, but they have my weakness. All right, let's see if we can't get a... we already had some bad luck. Let's go for some good luck here. We're going to try to evade. We're testing 4 against 3. Elder things -1. We evade. And when you evade a swarm enemy, the entire swarm is evaded. So, done. Sure. And I draw a card. Unexpected Courage. Now we move back to the waiting room. I don't need this clue, and it's not worth victory. So but what I should do is play a... well, I probably don't want to wait where it's infested. Since if a spider spawns where it's infested, that's awkward for everyone involved. We will keep moving. We'll go to the emergency room. 2 shroud, 1 clue, victory 1. While you're in the emergency room, all skill tests get +1 difficulty for each card committed to it. So that's not good for Amanda, since I work by committing cards. But maybe we can get this clue regardless next turn, like with the Unexpected Courage, maybe. While the Elder Things are hopefully still just a -1. So, no enemies on the board that do anything. The spiders do not hunt. They're just going to hang there. We upkeep. Practice makes perfect. Sure does. Okay. 1 of 6 Doom. Our encounter card is Dissonant Voices. Can't play assets or events this round. Okay. Let's do our infestation test. We get Cultist. So the infestation spreads. It's got to move to a location. It's got to add to a location that's connected to here. Let's put it back in the records office. That's fine. All right. Investigation phase. Draw a card. Discard the manual dexterity. Put a card under here. Okay, so I have Scroll of Secrets. I also have 9 cards. So I'm going to need to use some of these, which is fine. But I can't play any assets or events this round, so I can't put any of those into play. I want to get this clue. For that, I need a double commit, which means I'm going to do the Unexpected Courage. Okay. First action, we're going to investigate. We are testing 4 against 3. Because the test gets +1 difficulty because a skill is committed. I can't help by committing more, because if I commit another one, the difficulty just goes up by 1. So 4 on 3 still covers this much. No, excuse me. We have 2 infested locations. So now it only covers this much of the bag. So it's just over a coin flip. But I think that's basically what we have to do. So let's do it. 4 on 3. -1, we got the clue. I'll take it. Second action, let's get out of this hateful location. Experimental Therapies Ward. 4 Shroud, 2 clues, victory 2. When you investigate here, you can, as a reaction, take 1 horror, and it gets -2 Shroud. Well, we have a deduction, so let's investigate again. I am going to take a horror, which I will put on Dr. Maheshwaran, and I'll commit this deduction. So now we are testing 5 against 2. Seems good. Elder Sign. Amanda's Elder Sign is +0, and you can double the icons on the card beneath her. So, succeed by more, but the point is we get both clues. I could advance. I want to advance next round once I have all my actions ready to go. So I'll advance then. All right. The enemies do nothing. Did I ready the spider? Sure didn't. So we upkeep. Perception. We're at exactly 8 cards. Mythos. We're at 2 of 6 doom. Our encounter card is Glimpse of the Underworld. Oh, Dissonant Voices goes away. End of the round. Glimpse of the Underworld goes into my threat area. Forced, when I would take damage or horror, I take 1 additional damage or horror. I can, as a lightning bolt, discard this and then take a damage and horror. So I'll probably just discard this and eat the hit, since I haven't had one yet. But let's see what our infestation test has to say, shall we? We did the 0, the 1, this is 2. What do we get? Tablet does nothing. Good. Okay. We draw a card as Amanda. We discard the Unexpected Courage. That's an overpower. What I'm thinking is I might not take any tests this round, because I have the resources to play assets, and I have 3 assets that I want to play. Which means I could put something underneath me that is of lower priority. Though I guess I'm struggling a bit to see what that is. I suppose out of everything here, the Enraptured is probably least valuable. Yeah. So we'll put that up there. Okay. And I am going to just discard this Glimpse of the Underworld and take a damage and a horror. I don't want that sticking around. But, yeah, let's play some cards. I'll spend 3 to play Disc of Insomnia. I will spend 3. So this, an accessory. When a non-elite enemy spawns at my location, I can discard it to automatically evade them or deal it 2 damage. I will spend another 3 to play Dream Enhancing Serum, Arcane slot. Only the first copy of each card in my hand counts towards maximum hand size. And after I draw a copy, a card that I already have in my hand, I can exhaust this to draw an extra card. And then finally, we'll spend 1 to play Scroll of Secrets. Hand slot, 3 secrets. Lightning Bolt, I can exhaust it, spend a secret, look at the bottom card of a deck, and then either discard it, put it in my hand, put it on the bottom of the deck, put it on the top of the deck. As I discussed earlier, the big goal here is to ultimately make this the level 3 Seeker version, which looks at 3 cards, and use it for encounter deck management. Here, it's really drip, feed, draw. So I'm going to use it. And I'm going to draw the bottom card of my deck. Lab Assistant. Good. Okay. All right. That's fine. We pause to set up our board state a bit. No enemies that do anything. I will still advance, but I will do it next round when we're ready to move on. So we upkeep. Vicious Blow. We had one already, so we can use Dream Enhancing Serum to draw another card, Occult Invocation, which we also had one of, but because this exhausts, I don't get to draw yet another card. But both of those extra copies don't count toward my hand size, so I have 8 cards, but only 6 of them count. So, Mythos, 3 of 6. And counter card is Rotting Remains. I forgot that was in this. Test Brain 3. For each point you fail by, take a horror. Well, that's not great. I don't have anything I can commit besides this practice makes perfect. And I'd really rather not. What I can do is use Scroll of Secrets in the Lightning Bolt window to try to draw a card from the bottom of my deck. That's unfortunate. Cryptic Writings. 2 resources to play it. If you draw it during your turn, you can play it. But it's not my turn right now. It is the Mythos phase. So that's a little unfortunate. I think we're just going to be eating this. I don't want to burn practice makes perfect on it. All right, 2 against 3. -1. We fail by 2. I'll put 1 horror on Dr. Maheshwaran and 1 horror on Amanda. All right. And now the infestation phase, or test. Skull. So, a spider spawns from the deck or the discard at the closest infested location, which is the waiting room. So we're going to pull another swarm of spiders. Come on. There we go. Which, as with the other one, pulls 2 cards off my deck. 1. And I'm going to use that contract to look at the second one. It's Enraptured. I'm thinking about what I'm doing this turn. And the answer is probably, do I have any? I do not. I want to play this Lab Assistant to draw more cards. So we'll advance, we'll play Lab Assistant, we'll move, and then I might leap down the stairs, going into another location. Investigate, move. What I'm thinking about is the likelihood of getting 2 investigates with this Enraptured, and getting another 2 secrets onto the scroll. No, I think I still think that this is lower value. So I will let this go to the swarm. Fine. Okay. Investigation phase, I draw, I discard the Enraptured. There's the Dream Diary. Maybe I play that instead. Well, I have to put a card underneath me. Cryptic Writings. What am I going to do? What tests am I going to take? If I had manual dexterity, but I used it already. I could put it down there since an agility test is in my future. I don't want to lose my enemy management. Overpowers, vicious blows. I could do the perception. Play a card, move, investigate. Um, maybe I move first. Honestly, I'm wondering about whether practice makes perfect is worth it. Because I've already got the vicious blows are here, overpowers. There's what? I have my second perception already. I've seen both deductions, the enraptureds. It should just be the, if I'm not taking any tests, it should just be the practice makes perfect. Because right now, this is low value because the vast majority, the only thing that's left in here is an overpower. And I have an overpower. Though if an enemy shows up, I'll be happy for it. Hmm. No, no, I do think it is the least value, and I'm not sure I'm going to take any tests this round either. All right, this is fine. Right. Let's advance. Yeah, let's advance. So we spend 4 clues. We advance the act. We put the stairwell and basement door locations into play, and since it is Agenda 2, I make an infestation test. I'd love to see a team able to hoover up 4 clues per player in, what, 2 rounds? To manage to advance this while it's still Agenda 1. That would be quite impressive. Anyway, basement stairwell. So let's put the stairwell here. There's 3 basement locations that all look the same. We've shuffled them up. And we have to do an infestation test. Skull. Another spider spawns. That's not great. The waiting room is extremely spidery, which is going to cause complications down the line. But there's not a whole ton I can do about that. Because I sure don't want to spawn the spider of Lang, which just spawns extra spiders over time. So let's find the third. Where is it? Yep. And this spawns here. And it gets this card. And what is this card? Second laboratory assistant. I think that's fine to be captured since I have one in my hand. All right. This place is overrun. That's going to be problematic later, but that's a problem for future me. Okay. Still my turn. I haven't taken any actions yet. Let's play the laboratory assistant. 1 health, 2 sanity. Maximum hand size increased by 2 after she enters play. I draw 2 cards. Dream enhancing here, serum, and another scroll of secrets. Okay. Let's play. Let's move. Let's move. Move down to the basement, stairwell, excuse me. 3 shroud, 1 clue, victory 1. After you enter stairwell from a non-basement location, I can kickflip down the stairs to move to a basement location, then test agility 4. If I fail, I take 2 damage. I'm going to do this for the extra move, even though I know I'm going to be taking the damage. Watch me regret this later. But yeah, we're going to do it. We'll move into a basement door. The morgue. 5 shroud, 1 clue, victory 2. I can either investigate to get the clue, which is high shroud, or you can test willpower 3 to get it. But if you fail, you take a horror. And once I get the last clue here, I have to make an infestation test. And now we do the agility test. We're testing 2 against 4. Yep, we fail and take 2 damage. Fine. And now that we're here, I think we just play this cryptic writings and gain 2 resources. All right. Fine. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into... second practice makes perfect. Whatever, that's fine. We're still below hand size between lab assistant and dream enhancing serum. Mythos, we're at 4 of 6. Let's put this over here. Outbreak. Perform an infestation test. If you're at an infested location, tablets work as skulls. Well, we're not. What do we get? Second cultist. The infestation spreads again. This time, let's put it over here in the emergency room. And now 2 cultists, so they all go back in the bag. And now I have to do the regular infestation test. Tablet, nothing happens. Okay. Amanda draws a card. Encyclopedia, so a question mark. Practice makes perfect goes away. I think... I do want this clue. I could do the encyclopedia, play Dream Diary, use it to get the essence of the dream, which is a double question mark, and then attempt the test using question marks. That's an option. I'd be testing willpower 5 against 3. Or I could put down perception. I'd be 4 against 5. I need 3 more commits to get up to it. I've got all this enemy management that I don't want to throw because enemies are dangerous. Practice makes perfect is an overpower summon in case an enemy shows up. Yeah, I think we are going to do the encyclopedia. And we're going to do what I said. But first, we're going to use the Scroll of Secrets to draw from the bottom of my deck. Not the card itself. Well, no, stop. Technically difficult. All right, fine. Do it this way. No! Don't ask me. I don't know. The point is, we draw from the bottom of my deck. An unexpected courage. Perfect. Okay. So let's use that. Now, the Elder Things are now -3 because 3 locations are infested. So this willpower test, 2, 3, I'd be 5 on 3. And I can commit this other dream enhancing serum to get up to 6. That seems good. 6 on 3, testing willpower. There is a pass. We get this clue. But we have to make an infestation test. Tablet, nothing happens. Okay. We're going to move out. Stairwell. I think we're going to move again. 2, 4. Yes. We're going to move again. Let's try this one. The private room. 4 shroud, no clues. Spend an action to parlay. Test willpower 2. If you succeed, test intellect 2. And then if you succeed, you can spend a clue to get control of Randolph Carter, which I forgot to mention is what the act wants us to do. Okay. So this is where we need it to be. No enemies that do anything. Spiders are just hanging out. We upkeep. We upkeep. Second overpower. I can use Dream Enhancing Serum to draw a card. I am a hypochondriac. Great. All right. And Mythos. We're at 5 of 6 doom. We are frozen in fear. That's not good. The first time you move, fight, or evade each round, it costs an additional action. At the end of your turn, test willpower 3. Try to discard it. Okay. Then we do an infestation test. We've got cultist. The infestation spreads over to the experimental therapies ward. These are now -4. Okay. We draw the last card of our deck is Amanda, which is a guts. We discard the encyclopedia. Man, I would like to still have the unexpected courage, but I used it in the other one, so got guts, got perception. I could dream diary. I could use it to get the dream. Now, to translate the dream diary, you need to over-succeed on a test by 3 or more with the essence committed. Part of me wants to draw a card and then double action discard hypochondria so that it misses the reshuffle. On the other hand, this deck is only 11 cards. So I don't know how much I care. I might be better off riding that out. What is in this discard? Deductions, perceptions, enraptured, unexpected courage, 1 cryptic writings. I guess the other's under some spiders. Second dream enhancing serum, unexpected courage, and all right. Practice makes perfect. Okay. I could. Let's put the guts down, since no matter what's happening, there's a frozen in fear test in my immediate future. I could draw. I could play the dream diary. I could get the essence of the dream. I could. Practice makes perfect is another willpower icon as well by itself. So I'd be testing what, 5 on 3? The frozen in fear. That's still about 2/3 of the bag. That's not bad. If I tried to get Carter, I guess I could attempt that a couple times. What? I'm testing 4 against 2. That's the same. Okay, so I could keep attempting it with the willpower, and then I succeed. I have at least 1 shot with the perception. Yeah, let's see if we can't advance what we're doing here. At least Frozen in Fear doesn't care about parlay, so we're attempting to parlay. We're just going to go straight up with this guts, 4 against 2. -1 is a pass, so we draw a card. This reshuffles. I draw a card. I take a horror, which I will put on the laboratory assistant. Gotten enraptured. Now we're going to attempt the book 2 test. Guts won't help. This perception will. And 4 on 2. I'm going to play this practice makes perfect. and search the top 9 for a practice card. Can be deduction, is going to be deduction. That's fine. It's another book. So now I'm testing 5 against 2. And you know what? We're going to throw... We're going to throw this other scroll of secrets into the test as well to be... Nope. To be 6 on 2. Right? 2, 4, 5, 6 on 2. -1 is a pass. So, a bunch of stuff happens. We get a card from perception. The deduction that we fished out with practice makes perfect comes to our hand. So, manual dexterity deduction. These discard. And we get Randolph Carter. Two health, 3 sanity, +1 willpower, and +1 intellect. After an Elder Thing symbol is revealed during a test of my location, I can exhaust him to draw 2 cards. He does take up an ally slot, so my laboratory assistant gets booted. But that's fine. Now we advance the act. Carter's statement. We got to seal this place and get out of this hospital. We shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Now, Act 3. Every infested location gains. I can spend an action and test willpower against the location's shroud to seal the rift. I can spend a clue to automatically succeed. Based on rulings on Feast of Hemlock Vale treacheries that have that similar, either take the test or you can do this to automatically succeed, like calcification. I can actually take the test, and then if I'm failing, based on my token pool, then I could spend clues to automatically succeed. And if I do, the damaged location turns to a horror location. It's cleared and can no longer become infested. I advance if there are no infested locations in play. Good. That was my first action. I still have 2 more actions. But I am still frozen in fear, which is problematic. Okay. I'm thinking about playing the Dream Diary and getting the essence of the dream. Then I could commit it with guts to attempt the Frozen in Fear test 7 on 3. That seems pretty good. We're going to do that. Second action, Dream Diary. Third action, use it. Essence of the dream. Now we do Frozen in Fear test. We commit this with Randolph Carter's help. Our base will is 3. So now we're testing 7 against 3. Not only did we pass by 4. We have translated the dreams. Interpreted the dreams, excuse me. I'm going to put a token on here to remind me that I've done that. What seems good? Evidence. We have evidence of our dreams. Frozen in Fear goes away. Thanks to Guts, I draw a card. Second deduction. I don't remember exhausting that, but I guess I did. Essence of the dream gets set aside again. That was a good turn. Enemies don't do anything. We upkeep into Unexpected Courage. Sounds good. Yep, okay, Mythos. Just in time for the agenda to advance. Hell breaks loose. So the suspicious orderlies get replaced with corrupted orderlies, and the agents of Atlaknaka get shuffled in along with the corrupted orderlies, and I add a skull and cultist token to the infestation bag. So let's do all that. Let's pull out the suspicious orderlies, which never showed up, which is kind of a shame because with Dr. Maheshwaran, they're a nothing burger, mostly. That's fine. Corrupted orderlies, agents of Atlaknaka. Shuffle in. So we'll add a cultist to the bag, the infestation bag. And we will add another skull to the bag. Decidedly unfriendly. All right. Now we have 8 doom, and every spider at an infested location gets +1 fight and +1 evade. And at the end of the mythos phase, I'm still making an infestation test. This is the last agenda. Let's see how this goes. Encounter card. Grey Weaver. This is the big ones. Fight 4, health 5, evade 3. Does it damage and 2 horror, victory 1. While it's ready, investigators at its location cannot take move actions. This is why I brought Disc of Itzamna. And since I have other damage capacity in my hand, I'm not going to evade it. I'm going to sacrifice this to do 2 damage to it. Because it is a victory point. Okay. And now let's do this infestation test. What do we get? A skull. Another spider spawns, this time over here at the experimental therapies ward. Now, the fun thing, he said, is that all the swarms of spiders are out. So my choices for another spider to spawn here are the second Grey Weaver, which feels suicidal, but I'll have to take another look at my hand. The Spider of Lang, which I manifestly do not want. That will literally, over time, just make all the spider swarms bigger. And I got enough of a problem waiting for me in the lobby, in the waiting room. Or I can take a Corrupted Orderly, because now they are also spider traded. Fight 2, health 2, evade 2. Hunter. When they're dealt damage at an infested location, they cancel 1 of that damage. So if that hunts down into the basement and it's in a location non-infested, that's reasonable. So I'm probably pulling that, but let me look again. The Grey Weaver's hunt. What happens? What will happen? If I pull the second here, what is my turn looking like? I can do 3 damage in an action with Occult Invocation if I nail the hit and discard 2 cards. And I do have cards to discard. So if I manage to defeat this in 1 action, I could move, and then I could... I do want this clue, because this is a victory point. And I also want this location, which is an easy clue, and 2 victory points. If I defeat this guy in 1 action, move, then whatever I summon here, if it hunts, will hunt down to here and be waiting for me on the way out. Without the bonus 2 damage that I got from the Disc of Itzamna, a Grey Weaver is going to take at least 2 difficult tests to defeat. I should not be greedy. We're just going to pull an Orderly. All right. Now it's Amanda. We'll draw a card. Unexpected Courage. We can use Dream Enhancing Serum to draw a card. Practice makes perfect. We discard Guts. What's my plan here? 3 damage in a single action means either committing both Vicious Blows, which feels bad, or an Occult Invocation. I think Occult Invocation is the way, which means we're going to be testing Book. I would love to get up to 8 on the test. So I discard 2 cards. That'll get me up to 5. I need another 3. I won't have the resource to play Practice Makes Perfect. Um, is this just unexpected courage and also a deduction? There are no more double clue locations, so deduction is just a book. Yeah, I do think that is the play. All right, unexpected courage. We will spend 2. We're going to play Occult Invocation. We're going to discard 2 cards to fuel it. And I think it might be this manual dexterity. And yeah, the second deduction. Yes. So, yeah, so now we are at to 7 on 4. Because the Elder Things are -4, we're going to throw 1 more deduction into that. 8 on 4. -2, we pass. We do 3 damage to the Hex Zone with you, Grey Weaver. Okay. This guy's going to move down. That guy's going to move down. I could move. I could brace for impact. He does a damage and a horror, which could go on Randolph. I'll take a direct horror because of hypochondria, but that's reasonable. I could move and get this clue, what I'm thinking about. Because I'm also thinking there's a reasonable likelihood that the infestation will spread. And if I'm here in the stairwell, then I could seal it next turn. I'll also still need to kill this guy, which will be trickier when the location is infested. Or I could move twice, get set up here. Next turn, maybe get that clue. I guess I could potentially get that clue, move back here, and then defeat the suspicious orderly next turn. But I would really need to nail little tricky. Is there cryptic writings in my deck? There is. But I'm not doing a thing that's going to draw me another card this round. Or I could spend 2 actions to get rid of the hypochondria. What's the best play? The infestation bag currently has what? Yeah, there's a 40% chance at least that the stairwell will become infested next round. Which is going to make this guy fight 3, evade 3, and essentially health 3. Like if I did another 3 damage occult invocation, that's what I would need. Or I would need to commit both vicious blows to take him out in 1 round. Or I could move. I think I'm going to... It's actions I want to take anyway. Why invite an attack? I'm going to try moving twice. Might be the wrong call. We'll see. The morgue. No, the operating room. Morgue was over here. 2 shroud, 1 clue, victory 2. Can spend 2 actions and test book 4 to heal 3 damage. But if you fail, you deal it damage to yourself. Interesting. Right. Okay. Let's see if I've just scuppered my chances. Enemy phase, the orderly moves down here because it is a hunter. And we upkeep. We upkeep into Dream Enhancing Serum. Okay. Mythos. 1 of 8. Counter card. Outbreak. Okay. Infestation test. Where our location is not invested. We got the 3rd tablet, so that was good. But now we are guaranteed to either get more spiders or the infestation spreads. The infestation spreads. That is what I was expecting to happen. It comes to the stairwell. Problematic, because once the stairwell is infested, you have to do another infestation test. Spreads again. But we're going to put it where I am so that I can try to seal it. Okay. Tricky. All right. Maybe it was the wrong call. We're going to find out. Investigation phase. We amend a draw into an encyclopedia. We discard unexpected courage. Clue, seal. Might as well. Oh, maybe not. I think. Oh, yeah, and the ooh, okay. The elder things are -6 now. That's not great. All right. Fine. We'll muddle through. Is this another unexpected courage result? Or do I just use the encyclopedia? No. Maybe do the enraptured. 3 on 2. On 2 is still a reasonable portion of the bag. If I do the unexpected courage, it's a 5 on 2 test. Do enraptured 6 on 2. Covers at least that much. Yes. All right. Let's do the unexpected courage. All right. We're going to investigate. I'm going to commit the enraptured as well. We're testing 6 on 2. So we can at least get a secret on my scroll of secrets. -3 is 8 pass. We get the clue. We add a secret to this. I am going to use it right away to draw the bottom card of my deck. Cryptic Writings. That's good. I'm going to immediately play that to get 2 resources. Okay. Now let's do the test to turn off the infestation here. So I am testing 5 against Shroud 2. We're 3 up. We pass. So the infestation is cleared here. I need to move out, obviously. But if I move in here, then this guy is much harder to deal with. If he moves in on me, I mean, I'm getting hit either way, but he's easier to defeat here. Which I do think is the play. So therefore, you know what I'm going to do with my last action? I'm going to pull out my Essence of the Dream. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Enemies. Corrupted Orderly wanders in and batters me for a damage and a horror. Damage and horror both on Randolph. Due to hypochondria, I take a direct horror. Okay. Upkeep. Reception. Okay. Mythos, 2 of 8. It's touchy. It's touch and go. Scenario's tough. What do we get? Glimpse of the Underworld. The damage and horror is suddenly stacking up into an issue. Let's do our infestation test. What do we get? Oh, that's not good. It spreads again. Barg. The private room. And then these go right back into the bag. That's a little rough. Okay. At least I don't get more spiders. And the elder things are back to -6. All right. Okay. All right. We do our Amanda pull. So we take a horror, which will go on Randolph. We got an Unexpected Courage. This Unexpected Courage discards. What am I doing? I'm going to Vicious Blow this man. So is this an overpower situation? I also need to be mindful that I'm now... Did I have to discard last turn? No, I just drew this Unexpected Courage. No. Vicious Blow attack. Move. Seal the infestation. We're what, 2 of 8 doom? Like I said before, I don't expect to get everything sealed. This in particular is going to be a problem because in order for me to resign, I'm going to need to take this test, which if I just walk in and do it, then all these spiders will eat me for 6 total damage. Not good. So I'm going to need to defeat some of them. Evading's not an option. They're agility 6. So I'm going to need some damage to deal with them. All right, let's see if we can kill this guy. I'm thinking, of course, about what to put under. Is it just overpower? I am going to be taking this test also, hopefully this round. To seal it. So is that, again, Unexpected Courage? Is it, do I just do the Essence of the Dream? I think I do the Essence of the Dream. That's what it's there for. Okay. So, we're going to try to punch this guy to death. We're going to commit Overpower. We're going to commit Vicious Blow. 2, 4, 6, 7 against 2. Squids are -6. So I'm going to throw this encyclopedia into it as well. 8 against 2. 0. We pass by an enormous amount. This guy is defeated. I draw a card from Overpower. Laboratory Assistant. These all discard. Okay. move out. And let's try to seal this location. If I manage to seal this, then cultists will no longer be able to spread this. Okay, so test against 3, 5 against 3. And I have clues in my back pocket in case I fail the test, so let's just go for it. I'm going to need to discard, aren't I? At the end of the round, after I draw. So I might as well throw an extra something into this. Yeah, I might as well. I'll throw this other dream enhancing serum into it. So we're testing 6 against 3. -1 is a pass. This place is sealed. This stairway is clean. Okay. All right. I'm worried about this. If I eat this, then it's a damage and 2 horror. I think I'm going to need to try to ride this out. No enemies that do anything. We upkeep into. Disc of Insomnia. Okay. Mythos. Okay, it's touch and go. 3 of 8. What do we... oh, in essence... Nope, not yet. We are frozen in fear, because why wouldn't we be? Infestation test. Ah, skull. Spider spawns. I'm thinking about spawning a spider down here and just leaving this location and not trying to clear it. And instead, just aiming to clear these. And then beating my way through this horde. Clearing this and resigning. So, another corrupted orderly? Do I want the second Grey Weaver? I don't think so. No, that feels, again, suicidal. We got the one. I might want to play Disc of Insomnia, actually. No. We're going to spawn the other corrupted orderly. Whoop. And we're going to spawn him down here. And I think we're going to write off Randolph's old room as uncontrollably infested. It's too much back and forth to deal with. Okay. Fine. Amanda's turn. We draw a card. Deduction. We set aside the essence of the dream. We put a card here. I do want this clue. Frozen in fear is problematic. I guess it's an unexpected courage, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get this clue in this victory. So we're going to investigate. We are 5 against 3. We'll throw in this deduction to be 6 on 3. Perception, 8 on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Elder things are -5. Nope, not -7. -5. So yeah, perception, 8 on 3. -2. We pass. We get a card from perception. Practice makes perfect. Second one, we exhaust Dream Enhancing Serum to draw a card. Manual Dexterity. We get this clue in another victory point. Did we excuse me. This doesn't seem right. Play area 10? How much victory is on the board? 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11. Oh, wow. That is right. All right, we just need to live. Right. What am I doing? I'm moving. It's going to take 2 actions, but I am moving. Back up the stairs. Experimental therapies ward. Now we're doing the frozen in fear test. We are testing 5 against 3. Let's throw in elder things are still -5. I mean, I could throw both practice makes perfects and the disc of its omna into this to be testing 8 on 3. I have enough clues to clear these because I'm leaving this one. I made that decision. Even if I tank all the willpower tests. And the likelihood of my playing the disc of its omna is low. Yeah, I'm just worried about this completely picking up my day. So we're going to throw both practice makes perfects into this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this disc 8. 8 on 3. Good thing I threw a bunch at it. -4, it's gone. These discard. Okay. Enemy phase. The corrupted orderly lurches out of Randolph's bed. Anyone's guess what he was doing down there. We upkeep. Cult Invocation. Second one. So Dream Enhancing Serum draws us a Guts. That would have been helpful 1 round ago. But I might get another Willpower Treachery. 4 of 8 Doom. Okay. Remember what I said about might being able to get another Willpower Treachery? Rotting Remains. I'm already testing 5 on 3. I'm going to throw this Guts at it to be 7 on 3. -1, we pass. We draw a card, which is Deduction. Okay. Good. Amanda's... Oh, Infestation test. Cultist. But it can't spread anywhere because it's blocked off by these horrors. So that is finally a whiff. All right, Amanda, we draw a card. It's Cryptic Writings. I can't play it. Not that I think I'd want to. But the Amanda draw happens at the start of the investigation phase, which is actually before her turn. So I can't automatically play it. Unexpected Courage goes away. This turn, I'm sealing this, moving, and sealing this, right? And then dealing with these bozos afterwards? Probably. My concern, the reason I'm pausing. Let's think this through. If I seal this, move, and seal this, what I'm concerned about is that next turn I might draw another Infestation Skull. And if I've sealed both of these, then the next spider will spawn here. And now suddenly, not only do I have a swarm of 6 spiders here, but I also have what? The Corrupted Orderly back? Grey Weaver? Spider of Lang? I'm seriously considering... What's our doom? 4 of 8. I could move in and take this opportunity when I don't have any other pressures. Playing 2 Occult Invocations and wiping out these 6 spiders. Then the way is clear for me to spend the last couple of rounds mopping up as much of these seals as I can and then resigning. Again, I'm not getting them all. Which, the other thing is, there's a there is a ramification for Dr. Maheswaran being removed from the game, which is a mental trauma, but only if, oddly enough, only if you don't resign. Like, if I, say, removed her from the game to cancel a really untimely infestation pull, which I guess is the flip side of this, right? It's not going to matter. My goal is to resign out here. I've already committed to that to myself by not trying to get this. So, thinking it through, if I seal this turn, I seal this, move, seal this. The next turn, even if I get a spider infestation pull, I could remove Dr. M from the game to cancel it. On the other hand, if I seal, move, seal, this guy will move over here. And if next turn I have a free hand to move in Occult Invocation, and kill these things, this guy will move in and hit me, and I'll be dealing with him in an infested location. I think it is more important that I clear the way. We are on round 4 of 8. I have 4 more full turns. I think I kill these things now. Which means I'm going to be playing 2 Occult Invocations, which means I'm going to be giving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I'm going to be using most of my hand. Is that a problem? Then I'm going to be... It's not ideal. Two. Yeah, I'm gonna be left with 1 card. Alternately, I could go in using Overpower and Vicious Blow. If I use Vicious Blow, I'd be testing 3 against 2, 5 against 2 with the Overpower. Oh, that's the other consideration, though. If I seal these 2 locations, suddenly the Elder things are much more manageable at only -3. Maybe I do seal these. Because I'm using up a lot of resources to cover the -5. Tricky. All right, I think I'm going to seal these to make the Elder thing manageable. Which means it doesn't really matter what I put under. So I'll just do this deduction, since that's the least helpful thing I've got at the moment. Okay. All right. We're going to seal this location. I don't actually need... I don't need to bother with the test. We have enough clues. So I'll spend a clue to do this. Whoa. To do this automatically. Right. And now this is sealed. Okay. And then I will move over here. And I will do the same thing. And again, I will spend a clue. Now the Elder Things are back to a manageable -3. I don't know if that was best, but it's what I chose to do. Okay. Enemies. Corrupted Orderly moves up to here. We upkeep. Perception. Okay. Mythos. 5 of 8. Whispers of Hypnos. Choose a skill for the remainder of the round. I get -2 to it. You know what they say? Foot bad. All right, infestation test. Tablet, nothing happens. Amanda draw. Roll of secrets. We discard deduction. All right, I mean, we have a few more cards now. So I feel more comfortable moving in and occult invocationing those spiders out of existence. Now, I do need to be mindful. Corrupted Orderly will hit me for 1 and 1. And I'll take an extra horror. A direct horror. If I put it all on Amanda, she'll have 3 health and 2 sanity remaining. Not great. Unless I bring the fight to that guy, I could walk over, kill him now with Overpower and Vicious Blow. Then do a thing. Maybe even play the other Scroll of Secrets. And next round, am I just putting these off? I mean, maybe. Feels like it. But the issue is, he's much easier to defeat when its location is not infested. Yeah, we're at 5 of 8. I think that is the play. So we'll put this Overpower under her. So we're going to Amanda back over to this bozo. The location is not infested, so he's just a straight 2/2/2. We're going to punch. We're going to commit Vicious Blow. So we're swinging 5 against 2, which actually now covers most of the bag. Do I have another one to throw in? Nope. Still seems good. 5 on 2. Elder Thing. This is why this worked out. I brought it down to -3 by sealing these. So not only do I pass and defeat this guy, thanks to Vicious Blow, I draw a card off of Overpower. And I can use Randolph to draw another 2 cards. Which I'm going to do. And yes, this means I take another horror. So, you know, I just got to be careful. Oh. But when I take a horror, because of Glimpse of the Underworld, I'm going to take a second horror. That's right. Am I okay with that? Honestly, I think I am. What I'm considering is letting it defeat Randolph and using my next action to play Laboratory Assistant to refresh my soak. Yes, I'll lose the +1 willpower, +1 intellect. But on the flip side, I'll have a butt ton of cards. Yeah, I think that's the play. So, what's the sequencing here? I'm drawing 2 cards, which causes the deck to reshuffle. I take 2 horror because of Glimpse of the Underworld. 1 on Amanda, 1 defeats Randolph. So he's removed from the game. But then I draw 2 cards. Guts Encyclopedia. Yes. Does a vicious blow miss the reshuffle? Yes. Because all this happened before the test finished resolving. So now the test finishes resolving. Vicious blow is discarded. Okay, no, I didn't mean to do that. Right. And now third action, I play Laboratory Assistant and draw 2 cards. My 2 practice makes perfects. And I'll use Dream Enhancing Serum. Draw a Disc of Insomnia. Okay. All right. Okay. Good, I think. No enemies on the board. We upkeep. Unexpected Courage. I'm at 11, so I need to discard a card. What am I discarding? Probably Enraptured? My Occult Invocation attacks are going to be testing at 4 against 2. So as long as I have... Yeah, Perception under there, I'm doing as well as I can. Yeah, we'll discard the Enraptured. That's fine. Discard Whispers of Hypnos. Okay. Mythos. 6 of 8. This is tense. Encounter card. The Grey Weaver. That ain't good. Oh, I think I'm sunk. Let's see the infestation test. Tablet does nothing. But I can't move. Damn spiders. If I manage to evade it, move. If I Occult Invocation, I would still take 3 damage, and the problem is the hypochondria will kill me. The hypochondria and the glimpse of the underworld. Ah, shoot. Am I just accepting the fact that I'm taking a trauma? That might be the world in which we live. In exchange, if I can kill this thing, for getting all the victory points. Because I can't get out. What I don't want is to let the agenda flip. If you let the agenda run out, then all the hard work sealing stuff is for naught, and the steps of the bridge, like, max out. Because the unfortunate thing is, if I manage to evade this thing, which I potentially could, I have a manual dexterity. I have not yet done my Amanda draw. But just thinking this through. If I evaded this, sure, I can move in and kill one of these with Occult Invocation. But then the other will attack, and I will take 3 hits of, because of Glimpse of the Underworld. Well, you know what? I should have... The Glimpse of the Underworld should have made me take another horror. No. No. When the glimpse hit that, and I let Randolph be defeated, that was a pure horror hit. I wasn't... Hypochondria wasn't involved. Never mind. But the point is, if I take attack from that one second swarm of spiders, that's 3 separate hits of 2 damage and 2 horror. 2 direct horror. Because this feeds into that. Which just is, you know, annihilating me. But it is better to be annihilated than to let the agenda flip. So I think what we do is try to defeat this thing and then walk into spiders and be defeated by damage. I'm thinking damage specifically because Hypochondria hits the horror and cycling the deck causes horror. I mean, it's kind of like make your own in the thick of it, right? If I can get 12 VP, which means 10 victory even after the ultimatum that reduces it, it's like I've accepted 1 trauma for a bunch of experience. It's better than in the thick of it, right? That's what we're going to keep telling ourselves. Point being, can we kill this thing? Let's find out. We draw our Amanda card and Overpower. We discard this Overpower. I mean, the play here is Occult Invocations. So let's perception this up, yo. Okay. Occult Invocation number 1. We're going to discard 2 cards on this. Which will be... I don't know. The practice makes perfects. One will be the Disc of Insomnia. And the other will be... I guess this Manual Dexterity. Yeah, I think I'm committing myself to no, I'll keep the Manual Dexterity just in case, Whatever, I'm overthinking it. I'm not doing any willpower tests. Discard the guts. So I've discarded 2. So we are now testing 6 against 4. Let's also throw in play. Practice makes... No, can't. We'll throw in these cryptic writings. 8 against 4. Elder Things -3, so we hit, we deal 3 damage. And because of perception, we draw a card. Dream Enhancing Serum. Okay. Now we're going to spend Occult Invocation number 2. We only need to discard 1 card, which will be this Dream Enhancing Serum. 5 on 4. We'll commit the Scroll of Secrets and these 2 Practice Makes Perfects. Play 1? Maybe. No, I'll just commit it. What did I say? We're 2, 4, 5, 6, we're once again 8 on 4. -2. Okay, we clean swept victory. And we draw another card from Perception, which is Perception. And I think we just walk in and let spiders swarm all over us. What's the sequencing going to be? I guess when I take additional damage or horror, there's a rules question. If you're taking direct horror or damage, and Glimpse of the Underworld is boosting it, yeah, I guess it would both be direct. Yeah. But I can still arrange it to be defeated by damage. I do want to see one thing. I'm thinking ahead to the Silver Key Relic, which is an accessory that lets you exhaust it to cancel 1 horror when you would take horror. Does the potential availability of that mean that what I should do is take a mental trauma? I honestly don't know. I do have more Sanity Soak in the Seeker allies, of course. But if I'm going to get that Silver Key, that is a... Well, it exhausts. So it only covers 1 horror turn. So it's not a pure protection. No, I'm gonna let it be damage. I'm banking on the Hypochondria direct horror being more of a threat later on. So we move in. All these spiders swarm us. In the enemy phase, so the sequencing is first a spider hits us for a damage and Glimpse the Underworld makes it do 2 damage. Which upon Amanda. And then Hypochondria hits, and Glimpse of the Otherworld makes it 2 horror. And then the second spider hits, which does, I'll let it do 2 damage to Amanda, and now we're defeated by damage. Okay. We wound up with 3 locations still infested, which is not great, but it could be worse. Hopefully, all these victory points will equip us to manage going forward anyway. So, We are defeated. Let's take a look at what that does. If no resolution was reached, at least one investigator resigned. If no resolution was reached because... Oh. We are going to take the mental trauma from Dr. Maheshwaran being defeated. All right, so we end up with 1 and 1 anyway. Fine, whatever. No one resigned. We were defeated. 1 tally mark next to steps of the bridge for each location that was infested, so that's 3. Then resolution 4. We are defeated. We flee. Dr. Maheshwaran is missing. Perhaps you could have saved her, so I take a mental trauma. And I took the physical trauma from being defeated. Fine-ish. And Randolph escaped the hospital on his own. Okay. And I can choose to add him to my deck, and I might as well. He won't be there for long. And then we proceed to resolution 5. We earn experience for the victory value of every card in the victory display, which is a whopping 12. -2 because of the ultimatum, so I have 10 experience. I mean, look. I was targeting getting 6 to 7. I wound up getting 10, but 2 trauma. I did essentially manufacture my own in the thick of it. Not bad for this more difficult infestation bag, which is now removed. We will then proceed to interlude 1, the Black Cat. But that's going to wait until next time. The only other thing that we're going to record is per the instructions. Where is it? Something about, I think it's the Black Cat warned the others. Just check. Yes, record the Black Cat warned the others in your campaign log. I think we are the others, and the Black Cat is warning us that there would be spiders. We know, Black Cat. We know. All right. That was Waking Nightmare. That was wild and tense. If the Grey Weaver hadn't shown up at the end, we would have gotten out, I think. But, you know, that's Arkham Horror, the card game. A living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. Not bad for losing a whole round right at the beginning. And with 10 experience points, hopefully this deck will be significantly more functional when we see it next. Thank you to everyone who hung around to watch. See you next time. Take it easy, everyone.